Now, like, people be like, "I need you to do my taxes." Oof, I'm just terrible with that. Like, yeah, you can send it to me. I'll get to it when I can. But it's just not a need to, chase tax clients anymore. Which is why, I don't know if you guys know, but I did get rid of my brick and mortar because I'm like, who know me now? You know me. If I'm gonna do taxes, I'm gonna sit right here in my own virtual office. I don't have to
Right.
worry about running ads or anything like that because I know where my focus is.
Welcome to the Service Bureau Accelerator podcast, where we help tax professionals start and scale a successful service bureau.
Let's kick it off here. We're here with Chandra for another Service Bureau Accelerator interview series call. Ross, why don't you go ahead and kick it off?
Sure, Chandra, welcome. Thanks for joining us. How you doing today?
Hey, thanks for having me.
Awesome. Great. Always great to see you. So, real quick, Chandra, why don't we, to kick things off, if you want to kind of just introduce yourself a little bit, like just kind of share your story, your experience in the tax industry, kind of the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between, if you want, however much or however little.
Sure?
We
You
could be here
sure?
for a while, I'm sure.
Right.
But yeah, just kind of introduce yourself real quick and we'll take it from there.
Well, my name is Chandra James. I started doing taxes 2017. And it started off just some humbug stuff. Never ever thought I would be a tax professional. Basically, I just wanted to helped a friend, realized I was good at marketing, got like 100 clients my first year doing taxes. And she wanted to take my money after she realized I was good at doing taxes. And then I went out on my own. And then I met you guys my first year actually doing taxes on my own.
Wow.
Right,
And
yeah.
that was under the ESM,
Early
right?
season marketing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
early season marketing is where I met you guys, and it was the biggest investment I ever made at that time for myself. And when I told my husband, I was like, "Oh my God, I'm not gonna throw the number out that you guys charged me," but I was like, "Oh my God, I got to make this work," because I completely, to be honest, put a lot into making sure I grew, and that's how I came to where we are.
Awesome.
You didn't pay that much. Could have been
At
more.
that time, that was a lot.
It definitely could have been more. Awesome.
Yes,
So,
it's worth more.
so where, like along the lines, I mean, I guess, one of this, I kind of know the answer to it anyways, but maybe you just want to share like, what was the interest in you in joining Service Bureau Accelerator and becoming a service bureau?
No interest,
Like,
I remember
none.
this. Okay.
Baldeep forced
Okay.
me to become a service bureau.
You want to know the story? I don't know if I ever told you the story, Ross.
maybe I'll just ask Baldeep. So
All right.
Baldeep, what was the story with Chandra becoming a service bureau?
So before we took Service Bureau Accelerator public, when it was an idea, and we were like, all right, cool, we're going to launch it this next year. I think that was like the second year you were with us in ESM, right? Like you had been with us
think
2
so,
years
yeah.
in early season marketing. And then we're like, okay, cool, we're going to launch Service Bureau Accelerator. The time is right for the industry to get shook up on this side of the business, right? So we did the webinar, the very crappy webinar we did.
It was great.
No one understood. Everyone's
No
like,
one
what's this? Wait,
understood the
so what's a
webinar.
service bureau?
So what does that mean? What did you got? It was a bad webinar, but we did it to the private early season marketing group, and we sold a decent amount of people bought it. There was a lot of confusion because it was a bad webinar, right? It's not as good as the one that's presented these days. And I think like a week or two went by or something, and I called up Chandra. I was like, Chandra, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? You need to sign up for this. Like I did it. I think you were going to open up a food truck or something. You were like, yeah, I'm going to do the food truck and this and that. I'm like, no, you need to do this. And that's how Chandra signed up for Service Bureau Accelerator. I made her pay us money to do it. I was like, no, you need to do this.
Yeah.
So if you want to elaborate from there, that was kind of, I remember that.
He was like, my hot dogs would never make me rich, and it's hot on the food truck. And I sold the food truck.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's absolutely right. Like I tell people, I don't have mentees. I hate that word. I have people, my clients that use my software. I always tell them that I didn't do service bureau because I seen everybody else doing it, or oh my God, I want to sell software because it looked like she's making $1 million. It was because I was not forced, but somebody saw something in me that, basically was like, you can do this. And so I always tell people, like, don't just do things because you see somebody else is good at it. That don't mean you'll be good at it. So I always say I was put into this because I felt like my mentor referred me to be a service bureau. And I know why, because I'm good with implementing, and throw me a training out there, Imma watch video by video and Imma do it. And so I guess, I just follow the rules pretty well and I would be okay.
Yeah.
But we're not gonna get into the fact that it took me 3 years to really get into being a service bureau. So we'll talk about that later.
To be well, in all honesty, it took us about 3 years to really like fine tune the program so
Right.
that everyone gets it.
Yeah.
A little bit, it's a bit on us too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what's been like, and one thing I will say, like I've definitely noticed that with you, Chandra, is like if there's videos there, it's like you're following and implementing. You do the ABC as we lay it out. It's like
Mhm.
that's exactly what we want. So yeah, you do a good job at that. But what have you done? What have you been doing with your service bureau? Like let's ignore like the first couple of years again. That's kind of like the learning curve, right? Like there's
Mhm.
we still get that a lot. Like obviously there's a lot more people now that are more familiar with service bureaus. There's a lot more kind of talk about it in the industry. A lot of people are already kind of like maybe learning, or they're like a halfway service bureau. So they kind of get the model, and
Mhm.
then they get into our program, and then it's like, all right, now here's like the strategy A to Z, and they go and crush it. But early on, like when we first launched the program, we've seen that a lot with a lot of our members that kind of started the same time as you in that first year. Takes a couple of years in, and then it really kind of clicks, and then it starts building. So what was that like, that gap where you really started building? Because like last year you had some massive growth, right? And then this year again, you got some massive growth. But what was like what's been your model in order for you to kind of grow your service bureau? Have you been recruiting prepares? Have you been working with EROs? You want to kind of share a little bit about that?
I just sell the damn
Oh,
software. Can you hear
I
me?
hear.
sorry, is that my audio
That
cracked
is
out?
you.
Yeah,
That
that's
is
me.
you.
Sorry, go ahead.
Y
Yeah.
Yep, so I just sell the software. Like you said, the first 2 years, I, tried different, avenues, academies. Yeah, would never do that
Yeah.
again. But you guys laid it out, in 3 different structures on how you can really grow it, and I tried, one way because that's how I was sought out, with thinking I can get EROs because people's like, "I want you to teach me." Yeah, I taught them, but they didn't do nothing. Basically, I do the software, and that's it. I had someone reach out to me yesterday and was like, "Hey, I got somebody that wants to, that needs software," and I got a referral form. And one of my questions on my referral form is, do they know how to do taxes? If they click no, I send them an email back saying thank you for your referral, but I don't thank you. I can refer them to somebody else that teach taxes, but I don't have time for that. So yeah, I just basically run ads, of course, to people that know taxes, and hopefully they have at least 10, 15 people, and we can grow from there. And that's how I do it. I actually like small players better than the big people because they see more value in me with their growth. Starting from 10, 15, next year they go to 40, next year they do 75. By the time they get to 100, they think they can be a service bureau. So I don't know what that means, but a lot of people think that now. And that's just that's my passion, is just helping the small people because I didn't have that when I first started out.
Oh, that's awesome. And that's I think that's such an overlooked area as well. Like I don't know how often we get in the, on some of the coaching calls we have, or someone like at the end, they're like, oh, I've got this one big client, and they're fixated on this one potential deal where it's an office that they know, or they kind of, it's like a friend of a friend, and they do 800 products. They got 3 locations, whatever it may be. And they're just hyper fixated on that. We're like, hey, that's cool to have in the pipeline, but what else, what other deals are you working on? What else are you trying to bring in? And a lot of people are just kind of like out there trying to harpoon a whale versus like, we'll just sit here and cast and bring in the fish all day long. Right. And like those smaller hits, that builds over time. Like, especially like you said, you can then show them how to double their numbers over a couple of years.
And
They
then
end
they
up being
think you're the
like
best
little
person
whales
in the world.
themselves.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's awesome. And so you're running a lot of ads, right? Doing a lot of marketing campaigns. Um, what do you feel like? Because I'm looking at your numbers, and like you almost like doubled. So like 2 years ago, okay, what you did last year, you basically like almost tripled. You like doubled and a half. your previous year. And then this year again, you're like, you just about doubled that volume again this year. Probably by the end of it, once we get through like the fall, I'm sure
Right,
probably
right.
catch up. What do you feel like was like the 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 big thing? Was it just kind of rinsing and repeating, just kind of doubling down on your process, or was there anything like specific that kind of made like everything click a little bit more this year to see that jump again, like to double your business again?
It was basically the running the ad programs. I know I started the first year pretty late, with running ads after the convention that we had. So I just went in then and did well, of course. My this current tax season, every year I have I don't do really big goals because I know I'm hard on delegating, so I know it's just me. And so one, it was 1,000 products next year. So I want to double and get to 2,000 this year. Last year my goal was 1,000. So I did that and I'm like, I want to double that. But I really got frustrated because I lost some big people this upcoming year. They're still with you guys, so kudos to that. But I just lost them from me, and so that was my motivation. Like this is a rinse and repeat. Like you're gonna lose some people, keep going, and that's just what I did. I just keep going, and that's like most recently I had another girl, that thinks she's bigger than me all of a sudden now, and I help her, and nothing against that. I want everybody to grow, but I would have referred her to you guys before she went somewhere else. But needless to say, um, I've already found somebody else for that volume. And so my goal is like if I feel like I lost this amount of volume, I need to go harder. Even if I have to turn up my ass a little bit more, I feel like if I can replace it, I'm steady. I may not be growing as much, but I like to stay steady. And so that's just what I do. I do have a set because again, I'm still in the tax industry. I'm moving out a little bit more each year. I'm listening my clients because I am focusing on support with my EROs. But with that being said, I start running my ads, so I turn them off so I don't get distracted. I don't want to waste money, of course, running ads and don't do my whole spiel. So I turn it off in January, and then I turn it back on like in May, and then I just sit here and I run the business from May up until December.
Do the work instead
I
of
do the
cooking up
work.
hot dogs in the food truck. You're calling down leads and closing down sales, right?
There you go. In fact, you were just on a demo before before jumping
Yes,
on this call.
right, right. Just on a demo. And I had 3 yesterday that 2 sold, and this one just sold. Well, I'll tell you guys later. But yeah, so
Okay. Yeah, and to touch on your point, like, hey, you like the small people, like you realize, hey, retention is important, but hey, you may lose a client that does 100 products, right? But if you can add 300-400 products relatively quickly by running ads, like you're already replacing them and then some. Well, the
mhm,
goal is, all right, just keep adding. You're gonna lose 2 to 3 clients a year, whatever that number is. But if you can add 50 to 100, it doesn't matter.
right, right.
Well, we need to get you to 50 to 100, but
I know, that's my goal. That was my goal.
yeah. Yeah. You know what would help with that? What would help with that is if you hired some people to help you. But we could talk about
I
that
put
later
that
too.
on my application I just did.
Okay.
Perfect. That's a big topic for SBA Elite. So it's a big topic that we'll be covering for sure. Everyone's kind of a lot of people that are going to be in that group are. It's like that's the next step. It's like all right, now we got to start building our team because you only got 24 hours in a day, right? So how you're
Mhm.
using that, you
Yeah.
know, we'll break that down for sure. Do you want to? Are you cool if we shared like some revenue numbers? We don't have to get too specific. I was just curious if you're. We don't have to like break down the actual like volume numbers.
I don't care.
Um,
I love numbers.
perfect. Well, then maybe it'd be even better. Do you know your numbers? Like, do you know kind of like what you ended up doing last year and what you're projecting to be able to hit this year?
No, because I didn't look at the final numbers, like, at the end
Okay.
of the tax year. Last
Yeah.
time I looked at it was when it was time to send out bonuses, and I don't really look at it after that anymore. Everything that comes in
Yeah.
after that is just extra to me. So, I think it was like, 1,100 funded products. Maybe that was gonna be I know at least in June. And then this year I'm at 1,800 maybe.
Yeah, I think just over 19. Well, I guess that what I'm
I don't know
looking
if
at may
that.
not be fully updated. You might actually
Yeah,
be over 2,000.
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I
I
don't
don't
think
know.
so.
I don't think so. I was mad.
Close
No,
to.
she didn't because of the awards. I already know she's
Oh,
which
right,
team
right.
she's
There you
in.
go. Okay. Well, I'm gonna do some quick.
Very close. Very
I
close.
was like, I was already doing the math in my head, like, oh,
No,
didn't
very
get
close.
there.
Um,
I'll do some quick back and napkin math. Uh, Looking at some of those numbers, it looks like you between
1903
like
funded this year.
between service bureau and add-ons, it looks like you're probably just a little under 200,000 in revenue. Yeah, if that does that kind of
Mhm.
that seems a bit close. Yeah, yeah. So just
So I
under
remember,
200,000 in revenue, and it's like yeah, and you doubled last year. So if you think of it, if you double again and then double again, you're gonna be in that seven-figure territory pretty quickly in a few years. So how does that make you feel?
It's 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 really not don't seem surreal. I still feel like I'm broke for some reason, but,
it's because your expenses are going up with your income, which is
no,
not what you need
I'm
to
getting
do.
rid of it. No, well, I'm paying off a lot of debt. That's why. And so once I get rid of that, then I'll see it. But no, um, sometimes I have to go and just pull a report to see how much money I've truly made, and I'll be like, wow, I've made this much money. And so I don't even talk about it. Be honest to my spouse, like none of that. I can't because they will really be like, oh, I just they think I probably really don't be doing nothing in this little room, but I just feel like I'm more financially free. I actually do probably less work, because my goal is to be more for my kids, and y'all know I got a lot of children. So with that being said, the finances has really helped. I got two going to college. I just bought one a car. Another one has a paid off car that I always need to be repaired, but I'm humbling him to understand that I'm not buying him a new car. And so just things like that, it's doesn't seem surreal that I'll be ever making this type of money doing what I like to do.
Yep.
Um, and
Yeah, I remember when we had a conversation, maybe it was 2 years ago. I think you had just made the same amount of money that you did in your tax office with your service bureau. And I was
right,
like, okay, well, that was your first goal,
yeah,
like match the income. Cause now you're essentially doubled your income, right?
right,
And you're way past that now.
right. And now like people be like, I need you to do my taxes. Oof, I'm just terrible with that. Like, yeah, you can send it to me. I'll get to it when I can. But it's just not a need to, chase tax clients anymore, which is why I don't know if you guys know, but I did get rid of my brick and mortar because I'm like, who know me now, you know me. If I'm gonna do taxes, I'm gonna sit right here in my own virtual office. I don't have to
Right.
worry about running ads or anything like that because I know where my focus is. And people will still try to distract me and say, well, you can be doing this or do TikTok and do this. You can get on here and go live. But why? I said, no, I had to show my face. No.
That's your that's like your office that you got set up, right? I saw that on your Facebook. You've got like the building in like
Yeah.
is it kind of like the backyard? You got
In
that
the
set up?
backyard. Yes.
That's sick.
The,
Yeah, yeah.
the
That's
tax
awesome.
shed.
Yeah. The software shed.
Yes.
Awesome. So long story short, now like a few years in as a service bureau, you're basically stopped doing taxes as far as like running that like the tax business, right? You basically pulled back from that.
Mm-hmm.
You're working less and you're making a multiple more income.
Mm-hmm. I
Sounds
have relatives
sounds
that
good.
will reach out to me and say things like, well, you can, because they always want to go on vacations. And for some reason, I'm a travel agent because they want me to book everything. And when I'm like, no,
Serial
y'all,
entrepreneur, Chandra. You're a serial
I
entrepreneur.
am not the travel agent. But they say things like, you don't do nothing all day. And it kind of offends me and I want to snap back sometime, but I just be like, okay, my bank account don't say that. Yours do. You work 7 days a week, 12-hour shifts, but okay.
It's awesome.
Tell me how you really feel there, Sean.
Yeah. It's fine though, being like just being the silent killer,
And that's who
working
I
in
am.
yeah.
I stay quiet. And I learned that from you guys. One thing I learned, and I was just telling one of the people I was doing a demo with yesterday about who I am, like, you won't see my face plastered on everything, because I don't feel like that's the way of growth. Not in my demographics because we already have a bad tarnish in the tax industry. And so and when they see my ads and my website, they say it looks so good and clean, but I'm not all over it. I haven't ever did a photo shoot for my software. I used to do it for my tax business, but I've never even had the interest to take pictures and flyers and things like that. So that's just one thing that I take from you guys, and I run with you guys' motto is all I see is that little alien astronaut. And so that's the brand. So that's how I'm trying to just navigate the same way and just be a brand.
Yeah, for sure. And that's huge as you talk on that too. Cause I'm sure there's probably a lot of people who think that, right? They see a lot of other people out there as service bureaus or whatever who are like just, their personal life is all over social
Hmm.
media. And it's like, shit, do I have to do that in
Do I
order to
have,
be
yeah,
successful? It's like, absolutely not.
no.
There's so many different ways you can be successful. And Chandra, you're proof of that, right? It's like you're working in your software shack and the software shed and running
Right.
ads and taking sales calls and closing deals all day long, right? So, and your face doesn't have to be plastered all over the internet because a lot of people don't want to do that, right? Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, I'd love to hear because, like, again, you've been in, since kind of like the origins of SBA, but I'd love to hear. Obviously, you've seen a lot of iterations of the training. Every year, you have to do foundations again because I keep recreating it for you. But do you want to just share a little bit about your experience going through our training platform, like the type of training and content that we shared? Do you want to just kind of share talk a little bit about how you've been able to leverage it, what you've been really digging into, and things like that?
Yeah, so basically it has gotten a little bit more streamlined since I started. I mean, I'm not saying that's a good thing though. I really liked everything all over the place.
Well, I was gonna say, to be fair, you're someone who actually went through the original training and did the whole
Yeah,
training. So yes, so it was streamlined, but now it's a little, it's shorter and sweeter in some areas.
yeah. And for those that I'm not gonna say that's a good thing or a bad thing because with the streamline process, to me, if that was me coming in, I would feel a little bit, I'm gonna be honest, overwhelmed. Because it is a lot to do, and really no one is gonna sit down and just for some reason people won't sit down and just do what it is in day one. They will watch all the videos and say, okay, now I gotta do this. So I do appreciate where I came in at where it was just a lot, and we just went with the what is it called? The coaching calls. And once you did the coaching call, you threw the recording out there, and then you can just go back and watch the recording. And that's how I learned how to do things. Is just stop and play, watch it, implement it, press play, and go back. This process is still the same. I won't say that it's not good at all because I haven't really went through that. What is this 7 day
7 day
program?
launch.
I went through a
Yeah.
little bit of it, and then I stopped because I'm like, okay, I know most of this stuff now. So the things I just go back into, which I signed up for is the marketing class. That's tomorrow. Because again, I feel like I'm not a professional at that. I have my system that I purchased from you guys that makes it easy. But on the flip side, I do want to still learn how to, for the people that don't have the system, I like how you guys still can teach it in a way if I didn't purchase Nitro ads. So that's what I'm trying to get good at. It's just running the marketing in a sense as if I didn't have it to where I can teach it to my EROs who don't
Yeah.
actually have the software. So,
Yeah, really just like mastering those skill sets, right? Like
right.
going in because there's always stuff you can always learn more and more and more, and that's one thing. You're like the student type of character where where
I've
you want to
always been.
continue to
Mhm.
learn and continue want to absorb more and more information, just get better and better and better, right? A lot of people they'll watch a few videos, be like, okay, cool, I got it. It's like, well, do you really though? Like you don't think
Mm-mm.
you could probably learn a little bit more, right?
Right.
So that's always awesome. And yeah, the call tomorrow is actually going to be really good. I got the slides finished off earlier today, so they're going to be solid breakdown. Awesome. So yeah, training. You take action, you implement all of it, which is great. That's what it's
That's the only
obviously there
way.
for.
That's the only
That's the
way.
only way.
That's the only way you're
Just
gonna
you can
learn.
watch as many videos as you want to, right? But at the end of the day, you actually have to do the work to make
Mhm.
stuff happen.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then a couple last questions here for you, Chandra. When it comes to support, you know, again, we have like our ticketing platform set up, right? We kind of help with bank enrollment, all that kind of stuff. Do you want to just touch a little bit on your experience? And I don't mean support like with the software tech support, but like actual
Yes,
support with
of
us
course.
for your service bureau, training, coaching, whatever that may be. Do you want to just kind of talk a little bit on your experience with using our support systems?
The support system is amazing. I'm not the phone call type person. I don't like customer service. I don't like to be on hold. I am a ticket person. So I feel like that is the best way for me. I don't know if it works for anybody else, but I know for me, I love it because not only do you guys, respond pretty fast, it's like anything that you need um it gets answered. So there is not like just one short like thing that you guys actually answer when it comes to the support. Versus like my last support ticket I submitted a few days ago was on something that I was like, oh my God, they're gonna kill me asking this question. But you guys still came through. And so that kind of gave me more reassurance that, I still can ask those questions that I feel like they probably don't want to be bothered with. And you always have an answer for me. So I love the support. If you use it, you'll get the support. It is what it is. Uh, you can't
I've
just
been
say
trying
it's
to
not
tell
there.
everyone, just use it. Just open a ticket.
Just submit whatever it is on your mind. I always suggest whatever it is, just they'll answer.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
But
do
you're
I still have that thing that I had in the beginning that I stopped using? Is it still available to me? I have this one scenario that I kind of need help with.
One scenario, and the crazy part about it doesn't have to be a long list of things you thought about you needed support. If I just wake up this morning, I'm like, "Oh, how do I log in here?" You guys gotta answer. Like, I
exactly.
really wanna do this, like, even with the me, reaching out saying, "Hey, I just need," what it was, Ross? I don't know what I needed. I had a question about something, and you took the time because they like how most of us still think we just want to have access to you guys because that's who initially trained us, and I was like, you can get it, just send a ticket if you have questions to them. And that's what I'm trying to get to that point. I don't want to be these people are I am too available. And so the phone number thing is kind of frustrating. And so, I really like that. So I take a lot of you guys' stuff and try to use it in my own business as well. So kudos
Well,
to the
yeah, yeah.
support. And I know you guys have hired a lot of people.
Well, I was gonna say we've hired a lot of people because there's some questions that we do get a little sick of, so we've hired people to to answer some of those
The
for us.
same questions. Yep.
But like you said though, we're still in there. We're still always available, right? Like that's what I always love doing. Pretty much it's almost like every other day at least we get someone sending in their offer, right? Like new people going through and they're like, "Hey, here's my offer. Can you guys review it? And we'll take a look, give
Oh,
feedback, and do all that." So if you need an offer review as well there, happy to do that. But yeah, no, that's awesome. So moving forward from support, this year, right? So like last year, your goal was to hit 1,000. Like the
And we
year
did.
before, you wanted to hit 1,000. You did that. Your goal for this past tax season was to double. You pretty much did that as well. What's your goal this year? Double again?
yes.
You looking double
Well,
again?
now double means double two times two is four.
Yes.
I just if I can just add on 1,000 every year. And then I feel like I'm growing. Because again, like I said, I do lose people. Not I don't lose them, but like I have a couple people that's ready to be a service bureau. So I still keep their volume, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm losing my service bureau fee. So in my head, that's still money that's being paid out to me. But that's why I really wanna, I don't mind just still selling software. I always tell them, "You'll never see me marketing a service bureau because it's just not what I really wanna do, but I will be here for you guys, if that's what you want me to offer you." So, yes, that is my growth. Just 1,000 more products each year is truly growth to me. I don't try to compete with other people to make myself feel bad that I'm not doing enough work. Nope, I'm growing.
Yeah, well, I think you'll definitely be hitting it looking at those numbers and the growth you have been doing. And the great thing is like the kind of the crazy thing in business, right? Is like once you get past that like $100,000 mark, that's where I think a lot of people struggle in their businesses to get into that six-figure territory. Once you're there, you've already got kind of like the framework laid out. From there to go from like the 100,000 to a million, right? The six figures to the seven figures, it's like you just got to do the same thing over and over and just maybe get a little bit faster, effective, more consistent. That's it. You just got to do the same thing over and over again and get a little bit better at it. And just over time, you just continue to grow and scale. And so, like, I definitely think the thousand a year mark for you right now, where you're at, is like 100%. Like I think you're probably gonna crush that by the time we have this conversation next year.
I hope so.
So, so what would you say? Is there anything that you're like the most excited about this year for your service bureau? Like, do you haven't like to in order to hit that goal? Like, is there anything you've kind of been planning to do or something that you're just excited for?
Um, the elite program, I'm excited about that and just to see what's coming up for that. No, not I'm not really too excited. I'm just trying to stay grounded and consistent at this point. Because as fast as you can get it, you can lose it, if you just don't stay consistent. So that's just my goal. Right now it's just staying motivated and staying consistent and just following through on my own system and processes and implementing, the basics and just keep that going. And then once I see I have a because consistent means to me at least 3, 4 calls a day. And right now I am at three calls, maybe 3 days out the week. And so that's why I'm just trying to get more consistent with. And that's what excites me is that since I came off my vacation, because I blocked off my calendar, I've been busy. So
Nice.
Good.
That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah.
I had to
Remember,
find time for you guys today. I'm like, three?
I know.
What?
I know. I called you. I was like, "Are you joining?" You're like, I'm just finishing.
How they gonna force me?
I'm busy. I'm busy selling."
I was like, there are no more days. Like, yeah, they got this calendar set up real good.
We've tailored the calendar for
I know.
our
I said they
calendars
did
For
this.
our
for our
convenience.
availability. Yes. Yeah. 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 We have people who are like, "There's no spots in the calendar." Like, yeah, we
No,
know. We're trying to make adjustments, but we're
you know,
only
I,
going to take so much time.
we don't do 6 p.m., 7 p.m. coaching calls anymore.
Mm-mm, me either.
None of that anymore.
Awesome. So well, we have two last questions, but one last question that I'll ask, and then Boldy's got the final question for you. But last question for you: if someone's looking at joining the Service Bureau Accelerator, maybe they're looking at other options, as there's a lot more out there today, but maybe they came across our program, they're looking at joining the program. What would you say to anyone kind of looking at joining SBA?
If you want real transparency, dedicated people that want to see you win and grow, then join SBA. It's a lot of people out here. I see it all the time. That's just running these programs, and they have these Zoom calls. They have open calls, and it's like a bunch of fluff. And I'd be like, y'all paying these people $5,000, and so I always tell people, like, even if I can't service you, this is who I would recommend because I know they have it, it's laid out to where if you want to grow and do this business, then it's already there for you. You just got to implement it and it's reasonable and they show up and they have coaching calls and it's not drama. That's the biggest thing.
Try to avoid that as much as possible.
I've never seen it. If you guys had it, I wasn't there.
Well, we see some. We see it every now and
we,
then.
we don't have it. We see it. We
Oh,
like to
okay.
have them elsewhere out, so we don't have that shit in our
Yeah.
group.
We can sit next to you eating popcorn as well and watch you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, one final thing from me, Chandra. So once this episode hits the interwebs and someone's looking at this and they're like, "Hey, kind of want to just grow my tax office," where can they find you? Give us all the details. Where could they look you up? They're like, "Hey, I want to work with Chandra."
Okay, so not my personal page, but you can find me on my personal page, Chandra James. I don't really market software, so you'll go down my personal page and be like, she's probably not a right fit. But if you go to my Facebook page. I think it's just called Tax Guard Professional Tax Software. I post tips for EROs. Every probably once a week, I have a lot of things going on my social media page. So it is a real active business page. And then, of course, my website is taxguardprofessionaltaxsoftware.com. I do have an Instagram page. I don't know who runs it. I think my admin do, but it's Tax Guard as well. But that's about it. Other than that, you can just inbox me on Facebook on my personal page of Chandra James, and I'll always schedule a demo call with you.
Awesome. All right. Well, that'll wrap up this this episode of the Service Bureau Accelerator interview series. Thanks for joining us, Chandra. Have a good rest of your day.
Yay. Bye-bye.